Your hands are on a steering wheel that's outlived 3 phones. The wheel's worn smooth right where your thumbs sit. Through the windshield, a dealership glows. New paint, clean light. The thought that used to grab you doesn't grab you anymore. Everyone who sees this car has the same read. Can't afford better. It's the lazy guess, and it's completely backwards. 10 years ago, you cared about this car more than any of them care about theirs. You chose it. You were proud of it. So what changed? Not the bank account, the brain. By the end of this, you'll know the exact moment it happened. The moment you stopped wanting the new one, and you won't have noticed it when it did. Start with the thing nobody says out loud. The upgrade feels amazing. New car smell, the screen that does everything, the quiet cabin. That part's real, but you've done this before, and somewhere in the back of your mind you already know how it ends. 3 weeks in, the smell fades. The seats become seats. The payment, though, the payment never adapts. You've watched a thrill turn back into a commute. So the question stops being, would the new one feel good? It becomes, for how long? Here's the strange part. The old car, the worn one, starts to feel better than the new one would. Not sentiment, something else. In 1968, Robert Zajonc noticed this. The more familiar a thing becomes, the more your brain warms to it. Not because the thing improved, because familiarity reads as safe. He called it the mere exposure effect. Your car isn't a machine anymore. It's 10 years of Tuesdays, the hospital run at 2 a.m., the kid you taught to buckle in, a song that came on during the worst week of your life. The Romans had a word for objects like this, lares, household spirits they believed lived inside everyday things. Not superstition exactly, recognition. Things accumulate presence. Somewhere along the way, the car stopped being an object and became a place your memory lives. Selling it wouldn't feel like losing a machine. It'd feel like losing the years. So here's a question worth sitting with. What's the thing in your life that's outlasted its purpose but feels wrong to let go? The car is the one everyone can see. But familiarity explains attachment. It doesn't explain why you stopped wanting better. Plenty of people love their car and trade it in anyway. Something else is happening, and it has nothing to do with love. Think about how many decisions you made today before lunch. What to answer, what to defer, what to worry about, what to let go. The adult brain runs a decision load it was never built for. Every choice draws from the same tank. Psychologists call the drain decision fatigue. Now watch what a familiar car does inside that. You don't evaluate it, you don't research it, compare it, negotiate it, learn a new dashboard. It's the one thing in your day that asks nothing of you. Keeping it isn't laziness. It's your brain holding on to the last bit of quiet it has. The old car became peace because it stopped being a decision. That would be the whole story. Familiarity plus fatigue. Except one thing doesn't fit. If it were only fatigue, the misread would sting. Someone says, "Why don't you just buy a new one?" And most people rush to explain. They correct it. They can't stand being read as broke. But you don't. The question lands. It slides off. That's the part that changed. For most of your life, part of your self-worth was outsourced, sitting in how strangers scored your choices. Julian Rotter mapped this in 1966. He called it locus of control, whether the verdict on your life lives inside you or out there in other people's eyes. What happens around 40, quietly, is that the wire reroutes. The verdict comes home, and when someone assumes you can't afford better, there's nothing to defend. Their scoreboard stopped being your scoreboard. You didn't grow a thicker skin. You stopped needing the crowd to sign off. That's not what a stuck person does. That's what a settled one does. One honest check, because this cuts both ways. There's a version of this that isn't peace. It's avoidance wearing peace's clothes. Ask what else has changed in 10 years. Not the job, not the routine, not one real risk taken. If the car is the only thing standing still, the stillness might not be contentment. It might be a decade that moved faster than you pictured, and a car that lets you not look at that. Only you know which one you're driving. Peace feels open. Avoidance feels defended. So next time you rest your hands on that worn, smooth wheel, and a dealership glows through the glass. Notice what doesn't happen. No pull, no rehearsed answer for the question people keep asking. You didn't stop wanting things. You stopped needing strangers to confirm that what you have is enough. That grin the world can't quite read? Not stubbornness. It's a brain that finished a fight nobody saw it having. The next layer, while your brain keeps running a scoreboard for people you stopped caring about, that video is coming. Subscribe so it finds you. We don't only describe people here, we decode them.